Scott Stephens, COM 10101F 20093, Fundamentals of Public Speaking.
Scott Stephens, Speech 3, The Informational Speech, The Modern History of the Libertarian Party and Why You Might Be Interested. Discontent with government is as high as I've ever seen it. Discontent is shown in the polls, showing Americans are feeling alienated by the representatives, even ignored. Discontent is showing in congressional approval ratings, which are at record lows and getting lower. Discontent is showing in the president having a lower approval rating at this stage of his term than has any other in recent memory. Discontent is showing in the people I know, who are more cynical about politics than I've seen in my lifetime. This discontent leaves the possibility of a legitimate run by a third party a very real possibility. People are ready for real change. While most people have heard of the Libertarian Party, many are not familiar with its history. Many people are unaware of how the party came from relative obscurity to become the third largest political party in the country. Many people are unaware of how closely their own views are better represented by the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party was originally founded in 1771. Many of the founding fathers were libertarian. A list of these founders would include Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Patrick Henry, and others. Soon after the founding of the country, libertarianism fell into relative obscurity, with no libertarians holding major political office for more than 150 years. However, there were several noteworthy libertarians during that time. The philosophy lived on with some very notable libertarian-minded people, such as Barry Goldwater, Ayn Rand, Henry David Thoreau, and Frank Zappa, to name just a few. In 1971, the Libertarian Party reemerged, largely due to Richard Nixon's implementation of price controls and the end of the gold standard, in which our currency was backed by gold in reserve. At that time, people were already beginning to think that the two-party system was divisive and would ultimately lead us to a position in which party loyalty and catering to special interests by both major parties would corrupt the concept of a representative republic. It didn't take very long for the idea to catch on. 1 year later, in 1972, the Libertarian Party managed to gain ballot access for the presidential election in 2 states and captured 1 electoral college vote. In 1978, Dick Randolph became the first Libertarian to win a state-level office with an election to the House of Representatives from Alaska. The 1980s saw continued growth and improvement for the party. In the 1980 presidential contest, the Libertarian Party gained ballot access in all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and Guam. This is the first time a third party had accomplished this since the Socialist Party of 1916. In 1988, a former Republican congressman named Ron Paul won the Libertarian nomination for president and was on the ballot in 46 states. Paul later ran for the House of Representatives from Texas, once again as a Republican. He still serves in this office. He ran the Republican presidential primaries in 2008 and is currently sponsoring H.R. 1207 in the House of Representatives, a bill to audit the Federal Reserve. The growth in organization continued. In 1992, Andre Moreau, a Libertarian elected to Alaska State Legislature and Ron Paul's running mate in 1988, led the ticket, with attorney Nancy Lord as his vice presidential running mate. For the first time since the Clark campaign in 1980, the Libertarian Party made the presidential ballot in all 50 states, D.C., and Guam. Several candidates sought to become the party's 2008 presidential nominee. Ron Paul, who was seeking the presidential nomination of the Republican Party, was mentioned as a possible nominee, but he officially denied any intent to run under a third-party banner. On December 12, 2007, the Libertarian Party adopted a resolution requesting Dr. Paul to run on the Libertarian ticket if he did not win the Republican nomination. Dr. Paul continued to shape the debate in Washington with his renowned knowledge of the Constitution. In March of 2008, Senator Mike Gravel changed from the Democratic Party to the Libertarian Party. In May of 2008, Bob Barr, a former Republican congressman, announced that he would seek the Libertarian nomination. The Libertarian Party is the only party that has the organization and experience to make a legitimate run in today's political climate, which is dominated by the two-party system. People are largely discontent with the Republican and Democrat parties. There is a viable alternative. Did you know there are currently major projects being undertaken to unseat every member of Congress? If you're among those Americans who feel that government is no longer representing you, you may want to visit Get Out of Our House at goo.com. When you're done there, head over to the Libertarian Party website at lp.org and see for yourself what they have to offer. The Libertarian Party offers the fiscal conservatism, usually claimed by the Republicans, and the social liberalism, normally claimed by the Democrats. Having been approached by the Indiana Libertarian Party about running for office myself, and after agreeing to assist with the campaign of a Libertarian from Kentucky running this year for Congress, I can speak with a little authority when I say that there are people who identify themselves as both Democrats and Republicans whose views are really more libertarian than they may realize. It is a common contradiction and misperception that the Libertarian Party draws mainly from one party or the other. I personally have met many people who call themselves Republican or Democrat. When these people discover the Libertarian Party, the party of individual freedom, they find a better fit for themselves and their views. Thank you very much.